Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode 287 of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. I know you've missed us. It's been a couple of weeks, but we are back in action. The Maxon brothers here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And the fact that we haven't been on the air for a couple of weeks, I take all the blame. It's been all my fault. First, there was a scheduling hiccup, and then I got sick for what seemed like forever and didn't have a voice for some amount of time, or not a voice I wanted to have to do an hour-long podcast with. But like I said, we're back now. We're going to try actually this week to get 2 episodes out to catch up on that. This week's show, we are going to go back to 2005. Hardcore Homecoming, June 10th, 2005, an ECW reunion show held at the arena. And this is held, I believe it was either the week before or the week after the One Night Stand pay-per-view.
It was the day before.
Oh, okay. Okay, I knew it was within a week, because they were kind of trying to run opposite of the One Night Stand pay-per-view that WWE produced, which was actually a really good show, I guess you could say. With WWE, but it was one of the few times that when you watch the show, you can kind of feel like Vince let Paulie kind of run the show that night.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, hold on. I know what we're talking about is the Hardcore Homecoming. Sorry, it was 2 nights before. One Night Stand was on the 12th.
Okay.
So it was 2 nights before. I misspoke. But yes.
And I know that I've mentioned this before on the show when we've talked about ECW. I mentioned it a little bit when we were doing Reliving the Extreme. There are times where you watch an ECW style show or an ECW formatted show, and I know there are people that really, really loved ECW, and to each their own. I don't begrudge anybody what they like. I don't want them to begrudge me what I like. I like what I like. You like what you like. The ECW formula, to me, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It doesn't age well. Like there wasn't anything terrible on this show, and there was a couple of really good things, but overall, I didn't really care for this show very much. I don't know.
We're gonna get into it and talk about it or whatever, but I know like you said, you were like a terribly big ECW fan or whatever. But with that being said, excuse me, I'm a bigger ECW fan than you were.
Mm-hmm.
This show, when I was I don't know how old I was in 2005. I'm 43 now. So I've been.
You what, 22?
How old? 22. Okay. When I was 22 years old, I remember getting this fucking DVD and watching it and thinking it was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the DVD set too, and the documentary is really good.
The documentary's great.
Yes, the documentary is fantastic.
Really fucking good. Jeremy Borash did a great job on that fucking documentary. But I'm talking the show we're gonna watch. Or not gonna watch, we're gonna review. At the time, I thought, oh, it was a great show. And all these years later, I'm like, This wasn't a great show.
That's a lot of ECW, like in the moment. And there's a lot of, and we've talked about it before too. There's a lot of stuff in the moment, just not just ECW, but in the Monday Night Wars. Where in the moment it was like, this is fucking cool as shit, because it's something you'd never seen before or whatever, as a younger wrestling fan. And then now you watch it, 20 some years later, and you're like, that doesn't really age very well. I don't know, just
And, and I know we haven't talked about anything on the fucking show yet that happened. But you know what I think it was?
what's that?
It was an ECW show not ran by Paul.
Yeah. So they were trying for an ECW vibe, but you didn't have the vibe master there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the show starts. They give us some videos to start up the show, of reflecting on the history of ECW with Joey Styles in between, hyping the card up, sitting in what looks like his study. Joey Styles sitting in his study.
Yeah. He's in his den.
Terry Funk talks about how he's choosing this show over going to the WWE show.
Which
didn't he show up on the WWE show?
No, not
Oh no,
on the first.
he's in the that's
he's
right. He's in the second one. Yes.
He's in the second one. The first one he doesn't show up on. But he's I don't want to say it. He's one of the guys. He's one of the only guys that I think is being 100% honest when he's just like, yeah, these are the guys I want to be with.
Oh yeah, Terry loved ECW. He is not. He is not a Terry Funk isn't a drink the Kool-Aid ECW guy. Terry Funk is he loved that. He loved that crew. I think he loved the idea of helping that promotion grow. He was pretty much. I mean, he was at this point where it's like I'm giving back to the business in a way. He felt good. He felt like that was like his baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. I don't think there's ever anything about Terry Funk that isn't genuine. So yes, I agree with you. He's very genuine. That he loves ECW. He loves these guys, and he wants to do this show instead of the show for Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Bob Ortiz is in the ring. He introduces Todd Gordon, who comes to the ring, and Gordon cuts a promo.
A mushmouth promo. A mushmouth promo.
Yeah, a mushmouth promo. Well, at least he doesn't do the. I always joked on reliving the extreme whenever he would be yelling and screaming at the wrestlers and stuff. He sounded like he was going through puberty. But in this one, it's more of a mush. And I don't know if it was necessarily a mushmouth promo or they had shitty microphone or they had shitty audio, because throughout the show, there's some things where people are talking and I have no idea what they were saying.
He's a mushmouth. And he puts over the talent and the fans, and it's an unoriginal cheap pop promo where he's like, "We're the guys in the locker room are the best, but the real stars are you, the fans." And they like that guy, Buck Robley, and all the other pervs chant. It is what it is.
Joey Styles comes to the ring to a huge pop. Butthead is waiting for him in the ring.
Yes.
Cyrus, Jackal, Don Callis, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think he's Cyrus on this show, but he doesn't have his. He
Cyrus
has his hair cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his hair cut, and he looks like Butthead.
He always looked like Butthead.
I know he does. I don't watch AEW. I know he still does shit in AEW. I have no idea what he's got going on because I haven't watched AEW in years. So he's still around. What is your opinion? I don't think we've ever got to talk about the guy on the show. What's your opinion on Don Callis?
As like a wrestler, no, I don't really care. But like
Mm-hmm.
as like a shitty, like skeevy heel manager,
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad. I wouldn't say he's like I wouldn't say put him in the same level as like Bobby or like Colonel Parker, but
Right.
I'd put him on the level of like, and this isn't disparaging the guy that I'm gonna mention, but I'd put him in like a Harvey Whippleman or Slick type
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
manager.
That makes sense. Smarmy guy manages some mid carders.
Yeah. And if you want him to fucking be the commentary on fucking Challenge, that's all right.
But Cyrus and Styles are here. They're extremely happy to be back at the ECW arena. Styles gets cut off by Joel Gertner, who comes to the ring. Also gets a good pop. Of course, does poem. I didn't write down the poem, but it's your standard ECW opening here, pretty much.
Yeah.
The greatest hits. The crowd hits a "fuck you, Cyrus" chant, and then he shakes hands with Gertner, calls Gertner a piece of trash, and they have a fight.
And yeah. Is what it is.
There's a couple of guys in this next match that I was like, well, at least there's some people on this show that we've, at least on the We Can't Wrestle podcast, rarely ever talked about, so we can talk about them.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's why I thought this YouTube thing would be fun because you said there's random fucking shit on here.
The opening match is a tag team match. It is Simon Diamond and C.W. Anderson against Mikey Whipwreck and Chris Chetty.
In this match, Joey has to call Mikey Whipwreck the former Extreme Champion and has to call it Extreme Wrestling.
Hmm.
Did you notice that?
I guess I didn't really pay. No, I guess I didn't notice that he said that. I'm sure he says it plenty during the show, and I just didn't pick up on it. But now that you mention it, I guess trademarks are trademarks.
Like they literally can't say ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling. They can't say any of it. And I don't want to step on you when you were talking about like guys we normally didn't get to talk about on other shows or whatever. But of these four guys, and we talk about Mikey a lot because we got to talk about him on Reliving the Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But Simon Diamond, I was always a fan of him.
I always liked him too. I think he's still around doing something too. Maybe AEW. I don't know. I think he's an agent somewhere.
He's an agent.
AEW or NXT. I actually don't know which
It's not
company he works
NXT.
for.
It's not NXT. He's not with the WWE. I know that. So if you've seen him be an agent somewhere, it's AEW. But
Or TNA, maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
But
But
anyway.
he was also a guy that took a lot of interest in, and I'm not saying this like trying to sound perverse because it's not. Like he's a guy that took a lot of um time and interest in training female talent.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how like Fit Finley was. But it's like he trained. How do I say it? It's like he's trained more successful people than he was successful in his career, if that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of like well, Bill DeMott or
Yeah.
A Train, Matt Bloom,
Yeah.
Tom
Like there's a
Pritchard.
lot of there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Simon Diamond did a lot for my career. But as a worker and as a heel, and in that weird like 99 2000 ECW tenure, like he was really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the guy. I thought anyway. I thought he was a good talent.
What about C.W. Anderson? I don't think we've ever talked about C.W. Anderson on this show.
He's marginal. Like
I agree.
C.W. Anderson didn't do anything that upset me, but I wasn't like, oh, that guy should have been a bigger deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same
He
way.
was just a
Like
guy. He was just a guy.
I'm like you. I don't think he's not one of those guys that I think of that man after the Monday Night Wars died down or whatever. He never had it. I don't ever think that like he should have been a bigger deal or whatever. No, he was just there.
Yeah.
And of course, like Aaron said, we've talked at length about Mikey. We've had some conversations about Chris Chetty. We're both Chris Chetty fans. He is a guy that I wish would have got a more, at the tail end of the Monday Night Wars or whatever, when they were expanding the rosters for Raw and SmackDown. I think Chris Chetty could have had a place in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
I always dug him. But it was not to be. These guys have a decent little tag team match.
Yeah, Maggie hits the whippersnapper. Sorry, I didn't put on who he put it on. I'm assuming it's C.W. Anderson.
Yes. No, he pinned Simon Diamond.
Yeah, well, there you go. And Mikey and Chris Chetty win the match. Yeah, and I gave it like 2.5 stars, and it was just a basic, solid opening tag team match.
Yeah, it was fine. Nothing shitty, nothing spectacular. Just a good little match to open the show. Up next, one of the most entertaining people that you're going to see on this show, Tracy Smothers busting a move. I never get tired of seeing Tracy Smothers on my TV.
I do not either, but I always get tired of seeing the Blue Meanie. Like, Blue Meanie's character means nothing to me after Raven left ECW.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't want to sound harsh on the guy, because I think he seems like a cool dude. And all right, Brian, whatever, Herferman or whatever his fucking name is. Like, Blue Meanie seems like an all right dude as a person,
Mm-hmm.
but as like a wrestler and as a character, unless he's in that Raven, Stevie Richards, Blue Meanie bubble, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I would agree.
And it doesn't work for me.
I would say, like I just said, the last match, Chris Chetty never going to one of the big two was kind of a disappointment. Blue Meanie probably didn't even belong in the WWF for the short amount of time that he was there, honestly.
Yeah.
And again, like Aaron said, not shitting on the guy, seems like a perfectly nice fella, but I think he overachieved by getting a gig
definitely
with the WWF.
Like, he got to put his jorts on in the same fucking room as The Rock. Like, really? But out of this environment, fucking sucked. And in this match,
oh yeah, it's Tracy Smothers
sorry,
versus the Blue Meanie. Of course, Tracy Smothers and JT Smith come out. Like I said, Tracy's busting a move. JT gets on the mic just for the old time's sake, does the Italian gimmick. We've both talked about in the past on Reliving the Extreme how much we enjoy the FBI. It's a fun. The FBI was fun. It was just fun. It's pro wrestling
it was.
fun, and everybody
Yep.
involved was fun. And yeah,
And it was and I know it was on TV, obviously, but the FBI gimmick is completely a um, house show live work the crowd gimmick.
like Too Cool, or like Too Cool's a good house show gimmick. Or who else? Who else would I say is in that vein?
The
Of course, not
Bushwhackers.
the Bushwhackers. Yeah, like I was just saying, no, not of course, not. Why is nothing else coming to my brain? It's funny. I was just watching a Raw from '96, and of course, Tracy Smothers is Freddie Joe Floyd, and
Yeah.
he has a match with Justin Hawk Bradshaw, who of course would become JBL. And it's just funny, Vince McMahon, because it was that Tracy took one of those deals where they wanted the jobbers with gimmicks. So he got Freddie Joe Floyd, and it's just funny, Vince McMahon, like this newcomer to the business, this youngster, Freddie Joe Floyd. I'm like, Vince.
WWF did that youngster thing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
As
Gorilla
a
did it
tongue-in-cheek.
as a rib on Carlos Colon.
Yeah, they did it as a tongue-in-cheek thing to a lot of people. But that's what FBI was. FBI, the FBI was the most Southern style gimmick in ECW. And that's what I'm saying. Like that was their house show act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like working the mic, this big selling, doing all that shit. Yeah, that's what it was. And that's what this match was. They do their comedy work spot bits with like all that. They do their dancing, and like at one point the referee body slams Tracy's Smothers. And JT Smith even used the chain on Minnie, allowing Tracy to get the 1, 2, 3. So it was what it was.
It was what it was. They show a rest in peace video, a tribute video to the passed away stars of ECW. I wrote down here to a Guns N' Roses song, and now I don't remember which Guns N' Roses song it was. I don't think it was November Rain, but anyway. Tammy Sitch comes to the ring, and as she comes to the ring, that gives Joey Styles an opportunity to talk about Chris Candido. Chris Candido passed away not too long before this, didn't he?
Yeah, it's very, very,
very fresh, I think, at this point.
Yes. Hold on.
He was working for TNA, I know that, at the time. Doing the storyline with that tag team that I cannot remember the name of off the top of my head right now.
Candido died on April 28th.
Okay, yeah. So not very long before this at all. Johnny Grunge and Gary Wolf.
It was a little weird that Tammy was coming out like with the hammers almost exposed dancing, and Joey's like, a month ago
Yeah.
we lost Chris, and she's like fucking dancing and shit. It's like, what's going on?
This is the time the sync. This isn't synced properly. Maybe you should
Yeah,
have
this isn't.
maybe just recorded Joey talking about Candido before Tammy came out.
Or asked her to just like a walkout
The
and don't
Naturals. That was the team,
an
wasn't it?
answer. Yeah,
Yes. Okay. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. It just popped into my head like I was killing myself over here. Like, what's that fucking tag team called? Um,
That's all right.
but they do a deal with Johnny Grunge and Gary Wolf and Tammy. We get a Rocco Rock chant. Johnny Grunge cuts a
Yeah,
promo.
yeah, because Johnny lost Rocco, Gary lost Durante, and Tammy lost Candido, and
But I want to say something, and I'm just gonna. I don't. It doesn't fucking matter. I just want to say that, like, I don't know. I don't know what dysfunctional relationships are what they are, and I don't know how Tammy and Chris ended things, and I don't know how things were at the time of his passing. But I gotta tell you, she really treated that guy like shit. And to me, again, I know she probably was saddened because they did spend a lot of time together and everything. But to me,
she was a terrible person.
she's just, yeah, and she comes off as so disingenuine. And, like, I don't know. It's like you treated the fucking guy like shit for like almost the whole time you were together. And I don't know. I'm sad. I was sad that Chris Candido died, but I don't really have much sympathy for Tammy. Just saying.
Oh, I don't either. And Johnny Grunge looks like the heel kid from Problem Child. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he's dead now too. But yeah, at this point, like with his hair stuck up, yeah, he looks like the heel kid from Proud Child.
Well, he cuts a promo. Tammy cuts a disingenuine promo. The crowd hits them or hits her with or maybe it was Grunge. Somebody with a "Show Your Tits" chant.
Yeah, probably
It
both
could have
of them.
it could have been both of them. And Johnny
Yeah,
Grunge and Tammy, "Show Your
Grunge
Tits."
has Grunge has the bigger ones. He's got big ones.
His is natural too.
Yeah, the the big old naturals.
And then
And
out.
then they
Go
get
ahead.
interrupted. Then they get interrupted by, in my opinion, and you can shit on me if you want, by two guys that I think if they would have been left together when the ECW WWE CW experiment happened, if they would have left these guys together and let them be the gimmicks that they had, or maybe gave Roadkill a different um, degree of his gimmick.
I love the Amish Roadkill gimmick.
I do too.
And
I actually,
the guy was a really good, semi big man wrestler too.
yeah, but I actually love Danny Dorian Roadkill as a team.
I always thought
And Danny Doring, if you let him talk and let him be himself, I think is a natural, really good antagonistic shit heel, in my opinion.
This is going to sound really goofy, but I always thought Danny Doring should have played um, Billy Kidman's shitty little kid brother, because Danny Doring looks like he's Billy Kidman's brother.
Something like that, like just this annoying little shit
Danny
kicker,
Kidman.
or
Danny got. I don't know. I just always thought they looked alike, kind of. So I was always like, he should
they did.
play Kidman's little like shitty little kid brother.
Yeah. Or just that type of character, like a little guy that's just like nipping at your heels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I got my big buddy over here that's gonna protect me. Like I know we made fun of him and made fun of him as brothers or friends or whatever watching ECW and call it like boring Danny Doring or whatever. But when he was in the environment where he was allowed to like be himself and cut promos and shit, Danny Doring was really good. And I liked Roadkill and Doring.
I do too. So yes, we are in agreement there. So I wasn't gonna I won't shit on your opinion because we actually agree on these guys. Okay. Did am I wrong? Again, it's one of those things where you go back like there's so much shit like through history, especially in like in the post Monday Night War era until you hit like the anyway, so I get fuzzy on things sometimes. With WWE had the brands diluted and people were was Amish Roadkill Bam Neely, or were they two different guys? Okay,
two different people.
I don't know why I don't know why in my brain I thought that Amish Roadkill was Bam Neely, but anyway,
he was not.
We want New Jack chant. Danny Doring, yeah, I put Danny Doring yells at Hat Guy. Said he wants to put over the dead, but he also wants put over. And then I put down Gary Wolf. Gary Wolf says, can I read my handwriting? Gary Wolf tells Doring he isn't worth the sweat on his balls. I wrote balls.
God. And then Joey says balls a lot.
And then 911 comes out.
And he choke slams both of them. And then Johnny Grunge, I want to say puts Roadkill through a table, but he just basically falls.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he tumbles Roadkill through a table, and then 911 tries to pick up Tammy, but then he falls over himself. And
yes, he tries. I put down he tries to put Tammy in the Randy Savage Elizabeth like up on one shoulder thing, and completely falls down. And then I put down Joey Styles goes ha. I loved ha.
Yeah, like one of her fake tits pops out and it just topples everything over. And it was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like the end of that, I don't know why they left that in. It was I don't know.
Because it was fucking ridiculous. Why wouldn't you?
But now that
I would have opened with it. Like that should have been the start of the show.
Now that shit show's over with, I have mentioned on the show, and Aaron can verify this because I've mentioned it for years and years and years since this show took place. The next match on this show is actually one of my 20 favorite matches of all time. This particular Kid Cash versus Too Cold Scorpio match is one of my personal favorite matches of all time. I don't have a lot of notes on it, but this is a fantastic match. It's a fantastic fucking match. I love it every time I watch it, and it's definitely the best thing on this show.
It's the best thing on the show. Um, I know what you said, but like, and maybe it's because when I was a kid, I remember like kid, but when I was 20 something or whatever, I remember having this DVD and watching it or whatever. Even during the match, I'm like, this wasn't as good as I remember it being. But then there was shit that I didn't notice back then that I noticed now. And you know what one of them is?
What's that?
It's fucking Hat Guy and Kid Cash working their little gimmick. Like Kid Cash gets into it with Hat Guy, and Hat Guy calls him a little prick, and or calls him a stupid prick and a little midget. And Hat Guy's like, and Kid Cash is giving it back to Hat Guy. Like Hat Guy fucking hates him some Kid Cash. He's fucking yelling. He's just fucking giving him the business, man.
Yes.
Anyway, but like you said, the match itself, it's the best match on the show, and um, Scorp's in really good shape, and Kid Cash is probably in the best shape of his career. And you're a bigger fan of the match, so I'll let you talk most about it. But
No, yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I didn't write any notes down. I just wrote down that this is one of my favorite matches ever. I don't know why. It just is. It's two wrestlers that I think are really fantastic, having a fantastic match. Um, and I just wrote down to recommend it to anybody. If you don't watch this entire show, watch this match. That Scorpio wins with a 450 splash. But it's definitely the best thing on this show, and it's the one thing from this show that I can recommend to somebody who hasn't seen it. You should definitely go out of your way at some point to take 20 minutes or whatever out of your life to watch it.
yeah,
Then after this match, we see John Cronus, who looks fucking terrible.
he's not long for the world.
Yeah, I was just like when he came out, I was like, Jesus Christ, he looked like he'd been like he's like he's like it's like John Cronus got drowned or whatever, and they found his bloated corpse. I hate to be like that, but he just looks fucking awful. And he's going to have a match against Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten. I don't know. I don't know if they ever had it. I don't know if they ever had Saturn booked for this show or not, because he's not with the WWE at this point anymore.
I said not long for the world. He is dead 10 years later, but eh. Um, but what did you ask me? Sorry.
Oh, I just said I know Saturn was not with WWE anymore at this point. I don't know if he was ever booked to be a part of this show. I don't know if this was
He
a
was, but he was hurt.
okay, because yeah,
Honestly, I think this might have been when the whole robbery thing happened,
okay,
where he tried to save that,
yeah,
or didn't try to when he saved that lady.
but it's Cronus, Axel, and Ian Rotten, of course, the Bad Breed. Let me read my notes here. It starts out as just Cronus versus the Bad Breed, and then New Jack comes out, so it's going to be the Gangstonators versus Bad Breed, and of course, I put down a bunch of ECW bullshit here. They actually just wheeled a scaffold. They just wheel a scaffold out to the ring, like
Yeah. Well, they try to keep somewhat kayfabe because at the beginning of it, Axel says that him and Ian beat the shit out of each other, and weren't allowed to be a tag team, so they weren't going to be a tag team because this was technically now going to be a triple threat match. And we're just going to beat the shit out of Cronus. So we attack Cronus, and it's a basic ECW brawl. And then, like you said, they wheeled some kind of scaffold out, and then New Jack shows up. And like I've said plenty of times, fucking New Jack, he's Black Sting. Like, he's the Black Sting of ECW. Because, like, when all the heels would be attacking people in WCW, what happened?
You're
Like, Sting
Sting!
would, like Sting! He'd, like, repel from the ceiling or whatever. New Jack kind of had that same, excuse me, kind of had that same role. And then he shows up, and like you said, the Gangsta Natives reunite, and Joey talks about them being the most violent extreme team ever. And um, New Jack dives off the scaffold, driving Ian through the table, and that's how it ends. And
Yeah,
then,
I put down here, there's not a pin or anything. They just stop fighting.
yeah, and then they shake hands, and New Jack calls them cool motherfuckers, and it's all over.
And the crowd that's there eats this shit up. It's like Cornette says, for the type of people that like this thing, that's the type of thing these people like. So
Yep.
it's, it served its purpose for that night, for that crowd. I'm not going to shit on it. I'm just going to say, eh. The next match is a decent matchup. It is Justin Credible with Jason versus Jerry Lynn. And Jerry Lynn, this is his first match back since a recent shoulder surgery, I believe.
I didn't even like these guys working in like '97. I don't like. I know they were both young guys, and Paul wanted to get him over, but it's like, I don't know. This is like the one thing in ECW lore or whatever where they had like 20 matches against each other or wherever. It was like, Jerry Lynn versus Justin Credible did fucking nothing for me.
Yeah. Jerry Lynn, fantastic worker. Justin Credible, he's all right. But yeah, you're right. They just didn't, I don't know. They don't necessarily have a chemistry, like it's not like the obviously Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam had like some of the greatest matches in ECW history.
Yeah.
But everybody can't even the best wrestlers can't have great shit with everybody, There's some people Bret Hart wrestled where I'm like, whatever. Meh. I don't know. I'm all Scott Levy here, but I did put down Jason keeps getting involved in this match, and Jazz comes out to beat up Jason, and I put down Jazz gets absolutely no fucking reaction from the crowd. They do not care about her. Like she comes out and like Joey is commentating like there's this big pop for Jazz, but there is no pop for Jazz.
Well, there should have been, because she was awesome. Do you know she's in WWE now?
I did not.
They she's a performance center person now. She got hired.
Well, that's good for especially for the women wrestlers, because I'm sure
That's going to be her gig.
She was a really good women's wrestler, so she could obviously translate that into training them. So, what I would love to see for her to do, or anybody to do, is when those girls are in NXT, maybe they aren't all the same. Like I hate NXT. I don't watch it. I'm not going to get off on a tangent here, but It's I don't watch AEW because I didn't like it. I stopped watching NXT because I love Shawn Michaels or whatever, but that show is God. It's I don't know, it's almost childish. I can't stand it. Anyway, The Undertaker is proving he is a better promoter and booker than Shawn Michaels right now because the AAA show is fantastic and apparently Undertaker's booking that or has a very heavy hand in booking that. But NXT
Undertaker's
sucks.
booking Mexican wrestling.
Yes, the Undertaker is I think like
what
yeah.
is happening?
I don't
You know me,
like
bro. I don't watch a lot of the modern stuff at all, but I'm like, right, that
should
just
really
blows my mind.
you
The
should watch
Undertaker is booking fucking Mexican wrestling.
You should watch the AAA show. It's actually really good. And you don't even need to really the language barrier doesn't matter. Like you can tell who's the heel and who's the face, and you can tell what the issue is, and you can tell and
Are
the
you sure it's not JBL?
No, I mean JBL might be involved with it, but I know for sure the Undertaker
And I'm
is
not even making a joke because JBL has Lucha ties.
you know, he might be involved with it, but I know from what I don't know if he's absolutely 100% in charge, but Undertaker has a very heavy like authority at AAA.
That's fucking crazy. I don't know why that's that. I don't know why that caught me off guard so much. Fucking Undertaker's booking Mexican wrestling.
That's funny. Well, Jerry Lynn wins that match with a cradle tombstone.
Yeah.
The next deal is Raven. He comes out with his flunkies.
And that's where I was going to ask if we watched the same link, because did you even see the match?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. On the link
it
watched,
wasn't much of a match. I mean, it wasn't like
on the link I watched, and I thought it was funny because I'm the guy that decided we were going to review this. The match isn't even on it. Like Raven cuts his promo and then Sandman's down. And it's over. So I don't know why that happened.
Okay, no. I have what happened was, here I'll just tell you. Raven comes out, he's got I think Blue Meanie and the Musketeer with him.
Yeah, I saw that.
He cuts the promo about how he's had multiple action figures. He's had the action figure for every promotion, etc. And then he says that Sandman has to beat Musketeer first before he can wrestle Raven. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So Sandman
and
and the Musketeer have the sword versus cane fight, of course.
Yeah, and then he's just down, and that's it.
No, because there is I put down here it's standard Raven and Sandman. Of course, Raven just kind of bumping for or Sandman bumping for Raven. Donnie Allen comes out. So you don't have any of that?
Nope.
Donnie Allen comes out.
Good for him.
Mikey Whipwreck comes out to quote unquote neutralize Donnie and the other jobbers or J-Brones around the ring. He gives Sandman a beer and they're going to celebrate, but Mikey Whipwreck hits a whippersnapper on Sandman so Raven can pin the Sandman.
I ain't seeing any of that.
All right. Well, that's what happened. That's unless I fever dreamed it, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Good for Donnie Allen.
And like I said, this was just your standard Raven Sandman fare. Or like Raven always said, he loved wrestling Sandman because Sandman just pretty much bumped around him.
Yeah. I do this, I do that. Lo and behold, Sandman falls off some shit. 1, 2, 3.
The main event. No ropes, barbed wire around the ring, of course. Terry Funk, Shane Douglas, and Sabu, I put down to ask, what do you think about this type of match?
Barbed wire match or a
Yeah.
3-way match?
A barbed wire for the instead of ropes match.
I like it better when it's barbed wire wrapped around the ropes.
Okay. I tend to agree with you because the barbed wire being the ropes makes it hard for action to happen, you know?
Yeah.
If that makes if what I'm saying, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I hope what I'm trying to say makes sense. It makes it hard for the action to pick up, I guess. There's a lot of just
It
when
takes
the
the book. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say when the barbed wire is the ropes, it makes it so all you can do is the gross shit or fucking headlocks. You know, you can't throw somebody into the ropes, or I don't know.
Yeah, like my thing when the barbed wire replaces the ropes, it kind of ruins the mystique of wrestling because like when a guy goes to shoot a guy into the barbed wire and he holds back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, I don't want to do it. It's like, well, then why don't you do that every time when there's
Right.
ropes there? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, I don't mind a barbed wire match at all, but I prefer it when it's like wrapped around the
Yes, and
ropes.
that was kind of what my question, because I agree with you. If it's going to be a barbed wire match, I still want the ropes to be there, as opposed to the ropes being replaced by barbed wire. That was, I guess, that was my yes. You answered my question without me actually asking it properly.
Right.
I did find it funny that
And and Shane seemed completely out of place in this match.
yeah, he did.
And
I did think
he didn't do it in a way where he like his character seemed out of place in the
mhm,
match.
like Randy Orton
You
with
know
the
what,
thumbtacks.
yeah, like like when I don't know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That was the
his
that
like
was the best
Shane
the
was
best description I could think of it would be Randy Orton when he was wrestling Mick Foley. You know, like I'm in this, but fuck, I don't want to be in this. What the fuck is going on?
yeah,
Yeah.
or Mick being like, we shouldn't be here right now.
We shouldn't be doing this.
We shouldn't be doing this. You know, Shane would have been better if he would have been in that
Yeah.
type of character, but
I did
him
think it was
coming out in jeans and a t-shirt or whatever, it's like, eh.
I did think it was funny that Joey was like, Francine better be careful. She might catch a fun bag on the barbed wire.
Yeah. Yeah, her big tits.
he said he
That,
said she
that, that
might
was
catch a
that was
fun
funny.
bag.
Joey's the funniest. How do I say it? I think Joey, honestly, in the like Attitude era, like 96 through 2001, was actually the funniest commentator.
Yeah, I agree because Lawler
Like
isn't.
JR was funny.
That's what I say. Lawler isn't. Lawler can be funny, but during the Attitude Era, he focused too much more on the puppies and that kind of shit.
Yeah,
Lo-
it was
Jr.
cartoony funny.
Yes,
I'm just
Jr. is
saying like
Jr.
just
is funny for sarcasm. He has a great dry, sarcastic wit. But I agree with you. Joey's the funniest overall.
yeah, just like had balls or like just shit like that. Like he was the better one of those.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Shane Douglas cuts a promo before shit goes down. I put down it's Douglas and Terry Funk and Sabu. Um, lots of gross looking shit. I don't know, just but it's too. I don't know. Like I said, when the ropes are actually barbed wire instead of ropes wrapped in barbed wire, there's just something about it that's too slow and gross for me. I don't know.
Yeah, and I always say like I've heard a lot of wrestlers say that like the most dangerous match you can be in is a ladder match. You never know what a fucking ladder's gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But uh, there's not a lot of barbed wire matches like this. Like there's not a lot of barbed wire matches in history where it's like, oh, the ropes are barbed wire, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah.
I'm a dude and I'm an actual wrestler, which I'm not, and you told me, oh, the ring's gonna be surrounded by barbed wire, I'd be like, you know what I'm gonna do tonight? As little as humanly possible. Because that shit could possibly fucking kill me.
Or put your eye out, or just
Yeah.
like the
Okay.
the sequel or the spot in this match where Sabu gets his head caught between the two. I'm just like, ew, God, that's fucking. I don't know. I don't know why that's too much, but it's just too much. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Like
And
I
I know
watched it and
that's the point. I know that's the point, but it just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm a horror movie fan. I like
yeah.
horror movies. I like slasher films and stuff, but like I don't like Rob Zombie's films because I
Oh,
think that he just does quote unquote shocking for the sake of shocking,
mm,
and I don't know, that does not appeal to me. I know that appeals to some people. Some people like that shit, but it just
I don't
doesn't
like
appeal to me.
I don't like gross to be gross. It's like I use this example, like the first Saw movie, I liked
Mhm.
that movie, you know?
Mhm.
And you know me, I'm not a huge horror movie fan.
Right.
I'm not. But the first Saw movie, I liked it. But then after that, it was just like, eh, we're just getting gross to be gross. Eh, I don't need that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm glad what I said made sense.
It did.
Um At one point, it looks like Shane Douglas is going to win this match with a spot off the ladder, but the lights go out and Mick Foley is in the ring in a referee shirt. He
Yeah,
takes up,
and they kind of boo him at first.
but they boo Mr. Sacco. They definitely boo
Yeah.
Mr. Sacco until he wraps his Sacco in barbed wire.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, he was not technically signed with Vince when he did this.
no,
That's how he was able to do it.
yeah, because he
Because
had left
yeah, because
after.
One Night Stand had ECW guys that were on this show on that one, but no WWE contracted people were allowed to appear on this show, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Um,
that's how Mick was able to be on.
yeah, he was gone. He was gone at this point because ah, fuck, because he doesn't. I don't think he comes back to WWE until does. All right, this is June of '05. I don't think he comes back to WWE until early '06 because that's when he starts the feud with Edge heading into WrestleMania 22. for their hardcore match, or because he's not at the first one night stand at all, is he?
No.
Okay, yeah. Because then they do the shit at WrestleMania. Then they go into One Night Stand 2, where he does the thing with Edge, where he's Edge's partner. And then he goes into the God knows he ate peanut butter sandwiches feud with Ric Flair.
Everybody knows you ate peanut butter sandwiches.
In this SummerSlam 06. There, I got my timeline right now. I had to get back into my fucking Rolodex here.
Yeah.
But anyway,
everybody knows you ate peanut butter sandwiches.
Everybody knows you ate peanut butter sandwiches.
And a feud about
Flair has had it with the peanut butter sandwiches story.
Yeah. They had a feud about a kayfabe book.
Yeah.
A non-kayfabe book.
With Melina involved for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think Boo wins, right?
Well, yes, because Terry Funk after Foley shows up, Terry Funk winds up pinning Shane Douglas. And I don't know how how the finish was supposed to actually go down, because Terry Funk gets on that ladder and the ladder crumples, it breaks,
which is awesome.
And then Sabu hits the Arabian Facebuster to pin Terry Funk. Now, I don't know if Terry Funk was supposed to do a more spectacular bump off the ladder, but you're right. It's great because it's more realistic that the ladder broke.
Yes.
You know, it's like, well, the ladder broke. And Sabu's like, well, the ladder broke. Arabian Facebuster in the pin. Like I said, I don't know if the original plan was for Terry to do a moonsault off the ladder, but he didn't. And Sabu wins this barbed wire match.
And that's that.
And that's that. After the match, everyone involved in the show came down to check on Funk, Sabu, and Douglas. They have a little rah-rah, shish boom ba in the ring. And like I said, I have to, if I'm rating this show, say out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 7. I mean, it was fine. There was nothing shitty. I really like Too Cold and Kid Cash. Everything was there and everything was fine. It just wasn't, I hate to do the Levy thing again, but meh.
So you're nicer than me. I gave it a 5. It's like, like I said, when it first came out and got on DVD, I was like, this is great. And I watched it now and I'm like, this is not that great. Yeah.
Meh. Well, I'm going to try to, as we record this on Sunday night, I'm going to try to get this. Actually, I'm to try to get. I don't have really anything to edit out here. There wasn't anything I need to edit audio wise, so I'm going to try to get this put together and get it out here on Sunday night as well when we get off of here, and then hopefully later on this week on our normal Friday when the show normally drops. No matter when we record it, I try to drop it on Friday. We're going to go from hardcore to the AWA.
The Brawl in St. Paul.
The Brawl in St. Paul. And I have not got a chance to watch it. I will, obviously, before we record. What year is that from in AWA?
Oh. I want to say 87, maybe. Let me check real quick.
Okay. Probably, as we're recording, I'm probably going to watch that tomorrow because I do not have to, as of right now, do any work tomorrow. So I might watch that tomorrow. And then Aaron and I will record the episodes at some point this week and get that up on Friday. And we'll be back on our normal schedule. We'll have a weekend wrestle. 86. Okay. We'll have 2 weekend wrestles this week, a weekend wrestle next week. And then the week after that will be the next episode of Pot on the Mountain, where we'll be covering April of 1992. Killer Kyle is a weird dude, man.
He's a weird man. He's
He's
weird, dude.
He's weird, man. He's got weird music.
That
He's got
music's weird.
got that
That-
weird
that,
violin case.
Suit's weird. Weird, man.
Weird, man.
I don't like that dude at all, man.
I just love that Bob Cottle is leery of Killer Kyle.
He's more than leery. He's just like, Jesus
This guy is fucking weird.
Christ. I don't like him. I saw him at the Foot Locker. I did not make eye contact.
He was buying penny loafers.
Like, why? Why, man? That's weird. Who buys penny loafers at the Foot Locker? That's Payless purchase.
I don't even think they have penny loafers at Foot Locker now that you mention it.
It's a Payless.
He's buying black market penny loafers at the Foot Locker.
Foot Locker, man. Who does that?
It's weird, man. He
It's
puts them in his
weird,
violin
man.
case.
Weird.
Yeah, shit. Listen to Pod on the Mountain episodes to hear more about Killer Kyle and Bob Cottle. And until later this week when we do the Brawl in St. Paul from the AWA, we're gonna sign off. Let everybody know if you like the show that they can join us on any podcast app or the YouTube page for the WrestleNet Radio Podcast Network. And until our next episode, have a great week, everybody.
Later.